Hey folks, alright, here's video number 2. So if you caught my first video, you know that I was out clearing out some logs and some trees and stuff around my lagoon. So now we're going to do a little bit of small engines and maybe a little bit of life. Alright, so this is my trusty steel chainsaw. This is not a promotional video for steel products, but they are fabulous. So you know, obviously if I was cutting a bunch of trees, you know, that dulls them, but you know, I'm down around a lagoon, I've got old fence, I've got some T-post in there still, and anybody that knows me and has been around me, I'm not exactly the most careful person in the world. You know, trust me, Terry Care will tell you that I'm a regular. Yeah, so this chain actually bumped into a few fence areas there, here and there, and has definitely dulled it up. So we need to sharpen this thing up today. So I'm going to take you through that, and we're going to talk about a few things while we're going. I'm going to definitely wear some PPE. Got my glove on today. I'm going to wear that on my left hand because that's what's going to be holding my, well, it's seen better days, but you know, that's what's going to hold my chain in place so I don't want to get cut. I've got a kit here designed for this size chain. This is a .325. We can see that right on there. 3/16 looks like is also that size. So this is a rat tail file, sometimes what they call that. It's a round piece, but then it also has this guard on it. You can do part of this with a rat tail file, but you really need to have this guard on there as well, because it does a few things. Bring this up real close here. You can actually see some lines on there. Those are at 30 degrees, and I'm going to show you here in a moment. That's what we kind of need to have to make sure that this does its job. Okay, so each one of these little blades on here, each one of these blades has a blade right along here on the top and on the side. So what we're going to do with this file is we're going to cut in to each one of those and make sure that that part gets sharpened. I'm actually going to start off here. I'm going to clean up just my top edge with my flat file. That way that's nice and shiny and polished up. And one thing I like to do is, just so I got a signal of, hey, I went all the way around it, because sometimes I just get lost in doing this, I always mark it with a marker. Now it's going to get scarred up a little bit because I haven't sharpened it yet, but we'll get there. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to put this rat tail file right down here, and I want this guard sitting flat on top of this piece of chain. And I'm going to start down here at the end, and I need to count. All right. So, you know, kids at home, this is where your math comes in handy. You got to be able to count. All right, see, cross-curricular. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go from one end down to the other end, and I'm going to count how many times it's going to take to get this thing sharpened. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That looks pretty good there. I'm going to go with that. Notice that I kept this line, this 30-degree line that I showed you earlier. That is going to stay parallel to your bar. So this is the bar. All right, not that place where your uncle hangs out all the time. This is a bar for a chainsaw. So this is just a big piece that has a bearing on the end of it, and that's actually what brings oil into your chain. And that bar oil circulates around with that to reduce friction. Hey, Principles of Technology students, you remember reducing friction, right? It's a lubricant. There you go. That's actually the chapter we were on just whenever we left. All right, so I've done this 10 times on this one. This is kind of like having siblings. I don't know if any of you all has siblings, but I had an older brother growing up, and it seemed like every time one of us had something, like we had a birthday or something, the other one had to have something too. I don't know, aunts and uncles are just like that. It's kind of weird. It was a little annoying on my birthday, but you know, kind of liked it on his birthday. So, all right, so we got to do equal to each and every one of these. Okay, so we're going to come in here also. There's a little nub that's here on top of it. So this little nub actually is a piece that pushes up, and we're going to file that down equally 10 times just to move that down a little bit. What that does is it actually pushes that chain down, and you want a little bit of play in this, because as that pushes it down, it moves that blade up, and then that blade cuts into our log that we're sawing. Okay, so this does part, and this does its part right here. All right, so I'm going to give that 10 little 10 times here, just kind of rounding that over. Guess I can't count and then file at the same time, or talk and then file at the same time. All right. So there we go. So I got my first one there, and it doesn't matter which way you go. You just got to make sure that you get all of them. Now, this one was this way. This one here is just the opposite. So I'm going to come in from this side just because that's my preference. I like to push my file down through there. All right. I'm going to come in here. I'm keeping it flat. I want to make sure that that 30-degree line, so there's another one on this side that's going to stay parallel to where my bar is. And I'm going to work this thing 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good deal. You want to make sure that you keep constant pressure on that. Keep it going all the way across. And you want to make sure that that the whole thing is definitely getting sharpened whenever you're down in there, okay? All right. So if we think about this chain, this is a 20-inch bar on this. This is a pretty good sized bar. I cut a lot of logs. We have a fireplace because we enjoy having that heat. And it's a little bit cheaper, you know, helps on the electric bill. But, you know, each one of these chains and each one of these little pieces on here has a part that it does. It's almost, Skills USA students, it's almost like the essential element of teamwork, right? So each and every one of us has a part that we have to play, whether it's the little nub that pushes up on our blade, the blade itself, maybe it's these interlocking little pieces, right? Maybe it's even this there's a gear that's back here that hooks into that engine that makes this thing actually go. Well, you know what? So our life's kind of like that, right? Everything that we do, teamwork is a benefit of that. Can you imagine trying to go out and cut down a tree with just this one little piece? Forget about having this or even the rest of this chainsaw. Can you imagine just having this one little piece? My gosh, it'd take you forever. And that's just for a little twig that's sticking out. Teamwork is, you know, as they say, I guess makes the dream work, right? But, you know, teamwork's something we especially need right now. Teamwork is something that we all have to work together. You know, yeah, I know we're in isolation, but, you know, we're all supporting each other. Just like these are all linked up and you know, kind of supporting each other and helping this chain turn around, you know, we're all linking up and we're trying to make this world turn around. Yeah, it's a different circumstance than what we're dealing with, but, you know, we all got to work together. The other thing with this is we got to make sure that we're maintaining each and every one of ourselves. And sometimes we have to use that teamwork to do that as well. You know, we got to be on each other. Think about it. If I sharpen this one and I don't sharpen the rest of them, then that one's going to have to try to do all of that work by itself. Well, we can't do that as a world right now either. Shoot, if we have one person or one country or whatever trying to do everything for this is insane. So even after we get through all this crisis, just keep in mind that's the way we have to do things, even in life. You know, I've been blessed in my life. Right now, I've got the best team at work. I always sing their praises all the time. I got a ton of teachers that really work well together. We laugh together, we cry together, but they're fantastic. We all support each other. We've been getting a hold of each other here and there throughout this break. You know, a lot of it through social media, but, you know, and sometimes it's just for a good laugh, sometimes it's for a good cry. But that's what's needed to make everything go around, all right? So I'm going to keep on working my way around this. Something else I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this shield. I'm going to get all the sawdust out. Sometimes you got to blow out some of that dirt and debris just to, you know, make things life go on, all right? So kids, hang in there. Keep working together. We're all going to make it through this together, all right? Take care.